Welcome back to the WB Mason Coaches Report here on GoHofstra.com. My name is Meg McGuire here with Hofstra Pride Women's Lacrosse Coach Shannon Smith. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Megan. How are you?
Pretty well myself. Going back to your last game, a 10-8 win against Columbia, what are just some overall takeaways you got from that game?
I thought we got out to a quick start. Offensively, we were putting our shots away in the first half, and I thought Maddie Field had an unbelievable game for us, both in the first and the second half, coming up with some huge saves. Definitely one of the best games for her all season, so it was really exciting to see. And I thought that defensively we made some strides and improvements from our last game. So hopefully we can take some of that stuff and then work on some of the things we weren't so strong on, so we can prepare for this weekend.
And you talk about Maddie Field. She had a career-high save total. She also gets her first CAA award this week. What do you think about her progression this season?
Huge. I think she gets better every day at practice. She gets better each game, and it's really exciting to see. She's a great leader on our team, and the defense loves playing for her. She has a great personality, keeps everything into perspective, is very loose, keeps the defense loose. So it's really exciting to see. She's been putting on a lot of extra work outside of practice as well. So just really happy for her, and hopefully she can continue this run that she's having right now going into conference play.
And then looking at kind of the offense of Drew Shapiro, who had a career best 4 goals, a hat trick in the first alone. How do you think she's been improving for you guys this season as a whole?
Huge, and I think Drew's been more of a player of the game. She's been really studying it, really understands where she needs to dodge from against teams' defenses. She's been putting a lot of work as a midfielder on the defensive side of the field as well. So just becoming more of a student of the game, and has been putting a lot of work outside of practice as well. So it's been exciting to watch her grow as a person and as a player this year, and just really excited for Drew.
And also Alyssa Porella. At the beginning of the non-conference slate, you saw a lot more goals out of her. In the last couple of games, you've seen more assists. You've got 3 in the Columbia game and then 6 against Central Connecticut. Has she become more of a passer than a scorer to you, or what's that like in your mind?
No, I think it just speaks to how good of a player Alyssa is. If she's not going to dominate the game and scoring goals, she can make assists, and if she's not going to dominate either in goals or assists, she's going to dominate on the defensive side of the field, because she usually always gets an opposing team's top matchup out of their midfield. She's not going to dominate there. She's going to dominate in being able to transition the ball up and down the field for us, getting ground balls, getting draw control. She's just one of those players that can do it all on the field, whether it's getting a ground ball, draw control, playing defense, playing offense. So she impacts the game in more ways than one, and doing that as a freshman is pretty impressive, and we're really excited to continue to watch Alyssa grow over these next couple of weeks.
So looking at the non-conference slate in general, going 6-3, what do you feel how your team did in this non-conference slate?
Yeah, it was exciting to get those wins underneath our belt, to build confidence going into our conference play. I thought that our non-conference schedule set us up nicely and gave us a competitive schedule, but also set us up for being ready for our conference play against the competitive teams that we have in our conference. I think there's a lot of areas that we need to improve upon, but we're just really excited for the competition that we have this weekend.
I was about to say, what are some of the things you learned from your team in the non-conference play? I mean, you go up against some ranked teams. What do you think your team specifically has to improve on with CAA play just around the corner?
Yeah, I think the CAA is really competitive. There's a lot of outstanding teams in the conference, and I think one thing that we've learned over the years is anyone can win any game, and it's about who wants to win that game more on that day. So I think our team has really learned over the past couple of games is you gotta want it every single day, because every team's worked hard throughout the week to come on game day. So you really have to want it more than the other team. And I think we're really starting to try to find our identity now on the defense and the offensive side of the field, and we're really starting to come together as a team. So it's been nice to watch.
And now your CAA opener against Drexel coming up. What's been the focus this week and coming up against that game in practice and alike?
Yeah, well, our first focus has been clearing the ball. We really struggled against Columbia clearing the ball, especially in the second half. So that's been a real focus for us, getting back to the basics, the fundamentals, working on the draw controls again and the ground balls, because I thought Columbia out-hustled us a little bit in those areas, but at the end of the day, the most important stat was we scored more goals than them. But in regards to the ground balls and draw controls and clearing, we really struggled in that. So that's been a real focus for us going forward.
And then what's been the mindset of the team coming up for that game? I mean, they've got some offensive powerhouses like Nadia Pell and Lacey. What's been the mindset for you and your team going into Drexel?
Definitely, Nadia, she's a great player, and they have a lot of other scoring weapons as well, very well coached. It's going to be a team effort out there on the defensive side of the field, and like I said, I think each game our defense has been getting better, so just really worrying about our one-on-one matchups, making sure we're matching up well, making sure we're handling our matchups, make sure we're communicating, we're sliding when we need to, we're not creating offense for them with our slides, so, defense is going to have a big game, and we're going to need Maddie Field to make a few saves for us again.
All right, good luck in your CAA opener against Drexel, and thank you for watching the WB Masons Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com.